So you've imported your data, but you'll note looking at the ERPLab menu that there's quite a bit of information that's missing. So for example, you don't have a reference yet, the ICA weights aren't known, and crucially for the purposes of this video, you don't have any channel locations, you've only got the labels. What this means is that your data set has the names of the electrodes, but no information about where those electrodes are located on the scalp. So what I need to do is determine where these are, and EEGLAB is cleverly designed to read these labels and attribute them to a certain location based on a location file. You might be thinking, I don't have a location file. The creators of EEGLAB have helpfully included them for us in a folder within the EEGLAB overriding folder. So if you go into EEGLAB, wherever that is on your computer, you will see a functions folder. You can then go into support files, and if you scroll down here, you'll see standard 10.5 cap 385.sfp. This is what you're looking for. This is going to tell the system where these electrodes are based on given coordinates. So to put these into your data set effectively, you want to go to Edit, Channel Locations, and here you want to use the MNI coordinates file. There are a couple of options available, but the recommended coordinates file is this one here, and you then want to navigate to wherever it is that that file is on your computer, so within the EEGLAB folder. So again, I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to find the SFP file that I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to open it. If I then press OK, I'll get this pop-up. So now I've got the channel label, but in addition to only the channel label, I've also got the position of this channel on the scalp. For most people's purposes, this will be sufficient. You press OK, and this menu will update and say that the channel locations have been found. However, it might be the case that you don't have labels, or it might be that your lab is using a slightly different setup. If your lab has a location file that they're currently using, then it's probably worthwhile continuing to follow the trends of the lab you're working in, and instead going to read locations here, and using this pop-up, you would navigate to whichever file has been provided to you, and you can import the channel locations through that means instead. However, for most people, as I said, this will be sufficient. If you press OK, you can see that now the channel locations are updated. One additional note on this, if you want to ensure that the channel locations seem to be in the right place, you can go back to Edit Channel Locations, and here you can click on Plot 2D. And I can see that my FP electrodes are at the front here. I've then got the F electrodes behind, and they appear to be in the correct order and in the correct position. I've got my mastoids out here. This doesn't correspond exactly to the head depiction that's provided, but crucially the electrodes are in the right positions relative to one another.